all. Now I am going to discuss a problem on vector addition. Basically in my previous videos I have discussed triangles law of vector addition, parallelograms law of vector addition, polygons law of vector addition. But in case of triangles law and parallelograms law, we are taking two vectors to add them. But when there is a condition when more than two vectors are given, how to go about it? In polygons law we just discuss about the diagram, but we have not discussed any mathematical technique or idea to solve or to add more than two vectors. So here is a problem. If you look at the diagram, 8 Newton force is acting along positive x-axis. Here I am taking this as origin. So this is along positive x-axis. So let us consider the point at the origin O. Now 8 Newton force is acting on this point along positive x-axis. 6 Newton force is acting at an angle 60 degree with respect to horizontal or with respect to positive x-axis. So it's better to say with respect to positive x-axis. So 6 Newton is the force acting on this point O by making an angle 60 degree with positive x-axis. Similarly 4 Newton is another force acting on the point O by making some angle with x-axis. Okay, this is negative x-axis, this is positive y-axis. I repeat, negative x-axis, positive y-axis. When no angle is given, you can assume or you can take it as 45 degree. So I am writing for the time being 45 degree. Now the fourth force, 2 Newton, is acting along negative y-axis. So this is origin, positive x-axis, negative x-axis, positive y-axis, negative y-axis. Now what I will do, in the first step, I have to find in which direction various forces are acting. And in my second step, I have to write or name them. Let us assign each force. Let me assign a vector to this 8 Newton force, because force is a vector quantity. Already I have discussed in my previous video, force is a vector quantity. So 8 Newton is assigned with a vector. Now 2 Newton is assigned with b vector. Now let's say this 6 Newton is c vector and this 4 Newton is d vector. So now I will represent all these 4 vectors in terms of I cap and j cap. Basically this is a two-dimensional things. I am considering all these vectors in a plane. Plane means two dimension. X-axis, y-axis. X-axis, y-axis. That's why I will represent all the vectors using I cap and j cap. That is unit vector along x-axis and y-axis respectively. If you watch my previous video on how to represent a vector using unit vectors, then you can easily know. Okay, now I am writing a vector. So a vector equal to, look here, it is 8 Newton. Okay, whenever I am writing a vector, I have to assign a magnitude. I have assigned a magnitude. Okay, but it is not complete. I have to assign a direction on the right side. So from the figure it is clear that a vector is directed to the positive, along positive x-axis. So for positive x-axis I am taking I cap. So a vector is my 8 I cap Newton. Okay. Now what will be my b vector? Okay, b vector I have to assign the magnitude, that is 2. But it is negative y-axis. Y-axis means j cap. Since negative y-axis, so minus. So j cap is the unit vector along y-axis. Minus j cap because along negative y-axis. So this is also Newton. Now I have to represent this c vector. So I am zooming this picture once again. So this is my c vector. This is 6 Newton actually. Now this angle is 60. If you go through my previous videos on how to represent a vector using two rectangular components, now I am resolving this vector into two rectangular components. This is a vector. I am resolving it into x-axis and y-axis. X component, y component. So these are called, this is, you can say, horizontal component, vertical component. So if I draw a perpendicular, I can easily say that this is 90 degree, then the angle, the acute angle which is attached to the side is base. So base means 660, this will be 6 cos 60. I have discussed everything about this in my previous videos. So similarly this side will be 6 sin 60. So oppositely, this is a rectangle, opposite sides are same. So this will be 6 sin 60. So once again I am drawing this diagram blindly. If you take this is 60, now this will be 6 cos 60 and this will be 6 sin 60. So what I will do, so this is my c vector. So I am representing this c vector. Look, to reach here I have to go 6 cos 60 along x-axis, then 6 sine 60 along y-axis. So 6 cos 60 I cap plus 6 sine 60 j cap. So first you write 6 cos 60, then write 6 sine 60. Now 6 cos 60 is along positive x-axis I cap plus 6 sine 60 is positive y-axis j cap. Now this is plus. So you know cos 60 value. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. Sine 60 is root 3 by 2. So 6 cos 60 1 by 2 I cap plus 6 sine 60 root 3 by 2 j cap. Now this will be 2 3 ja 6 3 I cap plus again 2 3 ja 6 3 root 3 j cap. So this is very simple. Now for easy calculation, since I want to understand this problem, so I am not taking much accurate value. I am taking a simple value, let it be 1.7. So I am putting this root 3 equal to 1.7 here. So 3 I cap plus 3 into 1.7 j cap. So 3 I cap plus 17 3 is 81. Sorry, 17 3 is 51. So 51, there is a point, so 5.1 j cap. So I got my C vector is 3 I cap plus 5.1 j cap. So I am writing here C vector is 3 I cap plus 5.1 j cap Newton. So already I have represented C vector using I cap and j cap. Now I am going to represent this D vector. So I am zooming this picture out. This is my D vector and the magnitude is 4 Newton. Since this is 45, now this will be 4 cos 45 because the side which is attached to that acute angle will be cos, other side will be sine. 4 sine 45. So I can say if I go 4 cos 45 along negative x-axis and again 4 sine 45 along positive y-axis, negative x-axis, positive y-axis, then I can reach at a point which will make a D vector. So my D vector will be 4 cos 45, 4 sine 45. I am saying you one simple trick. Whenever you are resolving any vector into two components, x component and y component, just write vector in the left side. So here it is 4 cos 45 means other side will be 4 sine 45. If it will be 4 cos 30, other side will be 4 sine 30. If it would be 4 cos 60, other side will be 4 sine 60. So if you are writing 4 cos 45, suddenly you write 4 sine 45. Then check in which direction 4 cos 45 is acting. So 4 cos 45 is acting along negative x-axis. So x-axis means I cap. Since this is I cap, this has to be j cap. Okay, do you got my point? Do you get my point? Since this is I cap, this has to be j cap. So now again check 3-step process. Cos sine, then I cap j cap. Now third step, 4 cos 45 is along negative x-axis. So minus. Now 4 sine 45 is along positive y-axis. Plus. So minus 4 cos 45 is 1 by root 2. Value of cos 45 equal to 1 by root 2. Value of sine 45 is also equal to 1 by root 2. And for root 2 value I am going to take approximately 1.4. Okay. So now this is I cap plus 4 into sine 45 1 by root 2 j cap. I'll do little mathematics here. I'll multiply a root 2 above. Now root 2 into root 2 I cap plus 4 into root 2. Now root 2 into root 2 j cap. So this will be root 2 into root 2 is 2 minus 4 by 2 root 2 I cap plus 4 root 2 by root 2 into root 2 j cap. So 2 2 ja 4, 2 2 ja 4. So my final answer is minus 2 root 2 I cap plus 2 root 2 j cap. However, I can put root 2 value as 1.4 approximately. So minus 2 into 1.4 I cap plus 2 into 1.4 j cap. So 14 2 ja 28. So 2.8 plus 2.8 j cap. So I got my D vector as minus 2.8 I cap plus 2.8 j cap. So I am writing here D vector is minus 2.8 I cap plus 2.8 j cap Newton. So since from the figure it is clear that 4 forces, A forces, B forces, C forces, D forces or 4 vectors A vector, B vector, C vector, D vector are acting at a point O in different direction. So I have to find their resultant or sum. So what I'll do, I'll add. So let the addition of all the four vectors will give a vector, new vector, that is R vector. So what is the best way? Look, if you go through all the four vectors, they are represented in terms of I cap and j cap. So best idea how to add them. Just add components of I cap with components of I cap and components of j cap with components of j cap. It's very easy. Look here. So here minus 2.8 I cap plus 3 I cap, 8 I cap. I am writing here 8 I cap, 3 I cap minus 2.8 I cap. If I add all these three, 8 plus 3, 11. So 11 I cap minus 2.8 I cap. How to go about it? 11 minus 2, 9. So 9 minus 0.8, it will be 8.2. You get my point? 11 minus 2, 9. 9 minus 0.8, 8.2. So this will be 8.2 I cap. I cap gone, I cap gone, I cap gone. So 8.2 I cap. Final answer. Now how many j cap are there? Minus 2 j cap, 5.1 j cap, 2.8 j cap. I'm again writing here. Minus 2 j cap plus 5.1 j cap plus 2.8 j cap. So what I'll do? I'll write a j cap here. Now look, plus 2.8 minus 2 plus 2 minus 2, 0. Now this will be 0.8. So 5.1 plus 0.8, 5.9 j cap. So plus 5.9 j cap. So I got a new vector, that is R vector equal to 8.2 I cap plus 5.9 j cap. So whenever four vectors are acting at a point, the new vector, their resultant will be this. So we have already got the resultant of all the four vectors, but this should be represented. So I have to draw another diagram. Just understand this, very very important. Even if I am representing the resultant, any vector you can represent. Okay, R vector is 8.2 I cap plus 5.9 j cap. It means I have to go by a distance of 8.2 along positive x-axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8.2 is like this. So this distance is nothing but 8.2. This length. Okay. Or you can say 8.2 Newton. If I represent this x-axis in terms of forces, Newton, so this is basically in Newton. It's a force. All the four forces are taken. Okay. Now this is my along positive x-axis. Now positive y-axis, 5.9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.9 is almost close to 6. 6. So this is the point. So this gap is nothing but 5.9. So this gap is 5.9 Newton. So I have to work 8.2 I cap along positive x-axis or 8.2 Newton along positive x-axis and 5.9 Newton along positive y-axis. Then I'll reach at a point. This point will be my R vector. Hope everybody clear. I cap, j cap. If it would be minus, then I will go like this. Look, these techniques will be very very important in motion in two dimension, calculating electric field. For axial line, equatorial line, you can watch my electric field video also. If you have already passed plus 2 or little bit senior. Look, these classes are not only important for plus 2 or 10th, 9th standard. Always basic things are required. Even if you are going to be a teacher or IIT engineer or doctor or simply a scientist, whatever you want to be in your life. If you are going to use physics and mathematics, then just understand it. So 8.2, now this will be 5.9. Now magnitude of R vector will be directly from Pythagoras theorem. These are two things. This is a 90 degree angle between them because they are rectangular components. Horizontal axis, vertical axis. So directly 8.2 square plus 5.9 square root over. So if you solve this, you will get the magnitude. Now what will be the direction? Let us consider this is beta. So from this triangle, tan beta will be 5.9 by 8.2 because P by B. Tan beta is P by B. This is perpendicular and this is base. This is hypotenuse. So P by B. So beta equal to tan inverse 5.9 by 8.2. Okay. Now this is east from where I have started my vector class. First I have given you east, and let's say this is north. We are considering. So east north. So beta is angle, some angle from north to east. And remember one trick, always angle is measured in anti-clockwise direction, like this. These things I will tell you in my projectile class, you will realize. So this B. So this beta, always angle is measured in anti-clockwise direction. In anti-clockwise direction, angle is positive. In clockwise, it will be negative. Okay. So beta, that I will discuss in my motion graph. So beta equal to tan inverse 5.9 by 8.2. No need to do anything. Keep as it is. Now this is something north of east. East का north में जा रहे. So it will be north of east. So this will be my answer. So this will be the direction and this will be the magnitude. Hope everybody clear. Thank you.